Here's a little bit of wetness. It's just not very nice. Yeah, we think so.
Hello, hello. It's Amy from Seriously Sweet and Cookie Snack Attack. And today we're going to finish painting our moldable royal icing pieces from last week. But I'm going to ask you guys to hold for 1 second because my text just bounced back. And I just want to make sure that everyone knows we are live now because I have not been able to do a lot of lives during the middle of the day on Tuesdays recently. So let me just send it again. I don't know why that bounced back. Now, I'm sorry, it's going to be a very boring text for those of you who get the text alert. But I don't want to include any emojis or anything that might have gotten me kicked back. And I'm just going to mark it that we're painting moldable royal icing. Now, I have to tell you guys something really funny. I don't know if you'll think it's funny or not, but I think it's funny. So it's been really rainy here. It's cold. And it's been very damp. So today, there's one room that I have decided we don't normally turn the heat on any sooner than October. And it's the end of September. So today I moved the, there we go. Now it went through. My text just came through. Let me know if yours did. We'll give everybody a few minutes to join. But today, I put a little bit of heat in this one room. So I've relocated where I'm doing my video today. So I'm going to have a different blurred out background in the back, and hopefully the sound is going to be okay for you guys. I'm trying to check the mics and everything to just make sure I set everything back up properly, because every time you move it, something happens. But so good with the internet in here today. Now I'm going to switch this mic. Normal mic that's on the stand, and you guys tell me if you could even tell that I changed it. Hopefully that's going to just bring everything in a little bit for us. All right, so a little bit of quick housekeeping. We have some happened. Are we still there? Can you guys see me? Let me know if we're okay over there in the comments. I see a lot more of you joining us now that you have the text. All right. Hey, good morning. Good morning. How are you? So for us, oh, good. Mimi's got hers already. That's perfect. Okay. The text you just got. Hey, Lavelle. How are you this morning? Hi, Tara. Good morning, Cindy. How is Louisiana? Is it cooling off any for you guys yet? Let's see what we've got. Hey, Nimrose, how are you? Froze, but seems fine now. Hey, when I froze, did both the cameras freeze or just the one background camera? Because then I can check my connections. Hey, Barbie, how are you? How's Texas? Cooling off? Cooling off any for you? Hello, Myra. The other mic was louder. All right, well, tell me if the sound was better or not on the other mic, and I'll see if I can switch back. Can see in here, we're looking good. I wish I could see your smiley faces this morning. So anyway, I heated up the room that Mom and I spend most of the day in. It's got the best windows and the most awesome lighting. Hey, Dawn. Hey, Sally. Sweet Sally from Florida. So I moved everything back into this room for today. So I've got some great natural light going. And I also moved all of our, it's still hot. Sorry about that. It's cold here. It's colder than I like. It's 60 degrees today. I could run pretty constantly at 70, 80 because it's not rainy. Hey, you want to get in your chair? Come here. Come here. So the pups might be around a little bit more today, but it's their nap time. So they've all had lunch. All right. So let's go over the schedule. Let's say hi to a few more people. Oh, Myra, I'm so glad. I'm glad you liked your box. Barbie, Nimrose is connecting with you. Sound is good. Okay. All right, cool. So let's go over our 13 days of Halloween Plus. Right now, we're scheduled to start on October 16th. So let me just show you the lineup of names. And it was supposed to be 13 days of Halloween, but we have extra people. I'm so excited. We had more people that wanted to give back to the community for free. So it's going to be super exciting. Now, I don't know how you guys feel about all of the online things, but one of my favorite things is to have each person on as an individual and do it on a separate day so that you can really focus in on the ones that you want to create live with them. Or you can just go back and easily separate all your videos. They're going to be up there forever for you guys. I'm not going to take them down. You'll be able to easily find them over on YouTube, and I'll make you a playlist of just the Halloween things on YouTube when everything is over. We're also going to have a really cool countdown video, which we'll talk about in a minute. But here's your lineup right now. Like, we've got Laura Perotti with us. Maxine will be here. Samantha Bogman, Jennifer Mosier, Tammy Colati, Sydney Galpern has already turned in her piece. It's an awesome Gothic bathtub. Terry Lewis will be with us doing drawing with the Tweets pens. So if you have those, you're going to want to have those handy. Becky Norton's going to be with us, and I think she's going to do an embossed cookie for us this time. Sue Bachman is going to be doing stained glass, a Halloween themed stained glass. Jessie Ann Riley, I'm sure she's going to have something. Mixed mediums with isomalt. Brooke Taylor's going to be doing some isomalt. Mimi, I've seen her cookies. They are gorgeous. So excited. Mimi's my wild card this time. Like I had to talk her into coming on and doing a video with you guys because she was nervous about it, but I know her and she's going to do an outstanding job. She's a great teacher. She's very articulate and able to get information across. So you guys are going to have a beautiful set of Halloween cookies to do after that. Fabiola Fabs will be with us. Maite will be with us. I'm so excited May will be here. That's my nickname for her. I cannot wait to see the sculpting she does. Of course, the master of gore will join us, Timbo Sullivan, on the 30th. I'm not sure what piece he's making yet, but I told him PG-13, but the gorier the better. So I'm excited. Now, for me, I'm going to close out on Halloween night with you guys. If you are in, this is just a little hint I gave my class yesterday. If you were in the pre-recorded fall stackables class, which was initially created as a thank you for those of you who sent me to Disney for the day. If you are in that class, those 4 cutters, whether you bought cutters or you're using the silhouettes to cut your cookies, or you bought the STL file so you could print your own cutters, that's the set that I am using for my Halloween night demo for you guys. So I'm super psyched about that. That way you get more uses out of things you already have. If you're in that group, everything's up in that group and ready for you guys to start that class. And I just posted a whole bunch of bonus pictures for you because I really wanted you to see the versatility and the thought that was put into creating those specific 4 cutters, because you can mix and match them, meaning you can do available for sale. It's on the website, so you guys grab that if you want, and help a girl out, because we're in that 1-month trial of engaging with your followers. So if you could just take a second, I promise I'll wait for you to come back, but if you could share this to your personal pages, any groups that you belong to that you're allowed to share into, but if you guys could just spread this video around a little bit, it would be so super helpful to pop up that engagement. If you're on a phone, hit that love button a whole bunch of times. That counts as engagement. Make sure you're typing comments all day today during the video. Barbie's still hot. Oh, we did those. I'm sorry. Better every day. All right, good, good. So glad, Barbie. Allison, yes, I can see your name. And I did do updates early this morning, and it didn't make me do them again when I logged back on. Hey, Barbara, how are you? Let's see. Yes, there is, I believe I put up a link last week, but after this is over, I'll put up a link again. It will be an affiliate link. So if you purchase through that, it'll put a little, what do we call that? Passive income. It'll drop a little passive income in to my on my Amazon account, which helps me out to keep the live stream things paid for. There's a whole video on how we made these last week using moldable royal icing. So we'll also drop the link in. Hey, Kim. Hey, Vicky. Good to see you guys. There's a whole video of creating just these pieces. And then in order to do them justice, I didn't want to jump on the next day. I got to thinking about it. It's going to take a half an hour to 45 minutes to show you several different ways to paint these things. And then I also had some questions about, like, what do these look like if they're really dry and then you airbrush them or paint them, as was one of my tips for you. It was a pro tip to make a bunch of florals or leaves or the acorns or the pumpkins at the very beginning of the fall season so that you could just pull them out and color them as you go. So that was one of the pro tips. So I did not want to not take the time to show you how to fully do all of these pieces. So it's in 2 videos. Last week is how to create these using moldable royal icing. These are all done with moldable royal icing. Hopefully I've got, I feel like I've got good lighting for you. Let me see if I can turn this up a little bit. Now I've got a couple things going on today. I'm going to show you how to, I guess the question I got last week was, do they hold their color if they're really dry? And do they look different? Tell me, is that okay, guys? Can you see that a little bit better? I think that's better lighting. And are they as porous? Like, how do they take the paint or the airbrush color or the gel color? So we're going to missed everybody. Mom's doing great. She's actually listening to the live stream today. So Cheryl, watch that video because it's a product that we've been buying together. And so it has a really nice flavor. There's just so much you can do with it. And for people that like to sculpt and do 3D effects on your cookies or to make competition pieces, it's fantastic. You're going to want some. Let's see, your molds from Orlando. Your molds from Orlando haven't changed color. You mean the pieces that you made? That you did with solid colors? So the question I think here was more about whether if they pre-made a bunch of white pieces and then painted them after they were very, very dry, what they would look like. So I, in the springtime, make a ton of flowers and just put them up, but I make them all in white and then I paint them, dry dust them, airbrush them, that sort of thing. That cake glaze, if you ordered it from May's shop, Darlene, you're going to be in love with that. We're going to do a demo on that soon too, because it's coming up in one of our Tuesday projects. Hey, how are you doing, Sally? We miss you. Catch up with you later. All right, so these are the molds that I used in last week's video, and they are all posted in last week's video. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, because it's been a long week already, or a long time between last Tuesday and this Tuesday, I believe that I posted a set where you could get all of these together. They're not the exact molds in that they're not this exact shape or color, but they are these designs. So this was the acorn that I used. This was the fall leaf. This is a pumpkin mold, and this is a baby pumpkin mold. So I just pulled them back in so you could see them to see what we used. Now we're going to separate these, and then we're going to start working on these individually, okay? So my plan is to show you how to paint with airbrush colors, how to use some Everclear to dilute some gel to do painting with that. I pulled some dry dust colors in. I pulled in some cool diamond dust, copper sky, and orange being two of my favorite for this time of year. I find that they're just absolutely fantastic if you want to bring a little bling to the pumpkin. All right, you guys, hold on one second. I have one other light that just blinked on me. I thought I had it fixed, but it's one that went out on me last night. It overheated, I think. So I'm going to plug it into a different outlet and see if it will come back to life for us, because it will give us better detail on the cookies. And I can't tell if I've got any juice with it right now, but we'll watch it and see if it comes back to us. Some of these lights travel with me. Oh, and I saw that we froze for a second, but I promise I didn't do anything during that time frame. All right, let's try. Oh, I think that's going to be good. Does that look good for you? And I'll work up just a little higher on the screen here. I feel like you're going to get good color there. So we're going to paint these with Darling Good. You got it from May. Awesome. Sabra, good to see you today. Oh, so anyway, guys, that Fall Stackables class that was a free thank you to those of you who sent me to Disney is also available for sale on the website. I just got a text alert from somebody that I didn't show you the website. So thank you for reminding me. This is the website where you can get the class, your STL files, or the cutters. Also, if you're in Gnomes and Florals, those cutters are available for sale, either STLs or the files, whatever you'd like to do with that. Please don't forget to sign up for live stream text alerts at 540-870-0726. Type the word live stream, all capital letters, all one word. I'll send you a free text alert. Free on my end. It depends on what your texting and phone plan is, but I'm not charging you to send it. So sign up for that because you'll get the alerts. We also have a YouTube channel, which is super, super easy and organized in order for you to find all the live stream videos if you ever need to go back for that. All right. And then I think that's everything that I need to show you. So let me get through that. Don't forget the fall collaboration. If someone's on that could help me out and drop in the comments, if you could put in the link to join the group for Cookie Snack Attack collaboration group. The Halloween collaboration is in progress right now. I need you guys to really start getting your cookies in. I think they're not due officially until October 3rd, which is the first Tuesday in October. I think that's the official cutoff for the submission date. However, I would like to get started on the video and put up some mini videos so we can stop running the beach collaboration video. So if your cookies are done, just pop over there, pop them in, follow the instructions, get them in the right album so I can use them. And if you're teaching during the 13 Days of Halloween Plus event, please get your cookies and a headshot to me as soon as possible, because I'm going to use all the extra time we have in our videos to start advertising for you guys. So please make sure you get that done, okay? Now, I think that's it for housekeeping now, unless one of you has a question. Does anybody have a question on anything that I told you I would tell you about that I haven't told you about yet? Are we good to go? All right, so one more time, just so you guys can see what we are doing today. This is going to be about I think it's going to be hard to stream from back here. I've got full internet access, but it doesn't seem to be as powerful as in the front room. So we're going to try to keep going today because I really need to keep mom in here where it's warmer. But if I see that it slows down, I'll just pause for a little bit until it catches back up with us, okay? So you don't miss anything. What was I just telling you? Oh, by the way, does anybody make cute headbands? I have been catching up with mom, and we have been watching Halloween Cookie Wars and Christmas Cookie Wars. So she has a better understanding of what I actually do, and sees all the decorative cookies and the 3D pieces. We've been watching Halloween Cake Wars, Christmas Cake Wars, all the fun baking stuff is what we've been watching the last few days. So does anybody make those cute headbands that are in Halloween Wars? Like I saw one the other day. She had a headband on and it had a skull or a big bow or something, and then it had like a hand wrapped around it. I would love to talk to somebody that could make me some headbands to wear during they have to be affordable, of course, because everything's tight right now. But I would love to have some cute headbands or bows that I could attach to my bun that are Halloween themed that I could wear during the 13 Days of Halloween Plus events. And I only have 2, and they're not really very gory. So I would love it if you guys could, if somebody makes those, please contact me by messenger. Also, start watching for the teachers of the events to start doing posts on Instagram and on their Facebook pages and start sharing those for them. Okay. And this will show up as a live link later. Thank you, Mimi, for posting that. This is the link that'll take you to the cookie collaboration group. Please go participate, especially in Halloween, because Halloween is going to get played. That Halloween video is going to get played every night during the event and at all the promos. And we're going to have a reel, get your stuff in for that. You're not going to want to miss this one. Okay. Now my computer screen looks a little dark, but on my phone, it looks just fine. So we're just going to get rolling if that's okay with everybody. All right. So also, if you could, these people that troll pages and put up posts and stuff on your pages, just stop. It's just annoying. And I don't like having to block people, but you guys really, some of these people, I don't know if they're bots or machines or if they're actual people, but it's enough already. This is a PG-13 cookie group. So just move on. Okay. All right. Did I say whether hot pink can be used as an accent on the collab? Did you ask me that? Who is that? Who asked me that? So let me pull up the collab colors. I don't have any messages from anybody about that. So let me just look and see what we picked. I don't really think, yeah, it's in the listing, you guys. On the cookie collaboration page, it's got a posting that has all of the information about the collaboration, and it's pinned and featured. So go to the group. At the top of the collaboration, you're going to see the colors, those colors. And then in the explanation, it says you can also add white and purple to that color list. So you just need to go do the reading so that you have all the information. Okay. Hey, LaBelle. All right. Multitasking grandkids. All right, cool. All right. So let's separate these because I don't want to get funky with the pumpkins. I really want to use these on something later. And these cute little ones have leaves and pumpkins. Let's see if I can come in just a little bit too. You want to do the pumpkins first? I kind of do, but maybe we should do them. We're going to do airbrushing on the pumpkins. So maybe we should, I think we're airbrushing pumpkins. Hold on. No, we're airbrushing leaves. So we can do the pumpkins first. That way you guys can see this cool copper. It's so pretty. I brought it in here. I brought the diamond dust to go with it. And then we're going to paint these leaves. So let me just get these guys separated. Pull all the pumpkins up in here. All right. I got all my leaves. How's that? Everybody doing good? Are we doing well? My mom's looking at me like, did I forget how to speak? So anyway, let's pull this in. You okay watching that one, Mom? Okay. So we're going to do the large ones first because I think this will be easier for you guys to see. Now, one of my pro tips, because I really get tired of my paint palettes getting stained, is that I take press and seal, sticky side down, work it in and cover all the wells on my paint palettes. And so I have a little paint palette set up here today. So when I finish my video, all I have to do is take the press and seal from the bottom, roll it into the center, and I'm cleaned up. I can put another sheet down and keep moving. So for me, I love that. It's much faster and much less food coloring ends up on my hands. All right. So I hope that works for you guys too. All right, let's do this. Oh, that's a little better, I think. Okay, let's see if we can get that on here a little bit. Okay, are you guys ready? And I wonder, if like an auto function, because it's perfect on my telephone screen, but it's weird on my computer screen. So I wonder if like some auto adjustment took place because the light is so bright. So we'll see. Hold on just 1 second. I just want to watch from here too. And we're going to get rolling. Anyway, Mom and I have been having a blast watching these cookie shows. And I've seen so many of you who I didn't know previously that are in the show, having so much fun watching you guys. You're hilarious, like totally hilarious during these shows. I love it. It's been just a blast. All right. So some of this is gel color, some is airbrush. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my non-disclosed alcohol that is above 151 proof, because when we were traveling to Florida, Allison and I stopped in South Carolina and got some of the really high proof so that it will evaporate. So those of you that are new, why does that matter? Because when I mix this, it evaporates immediately. So I'm just using it to paint with. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to thin out my gels and I'm going to thin out my airbrush colors. So I want you, because I want a thinner color. And so the way to get a lighter shade of a color is not by adding white. White's going to change the tone of your color completely. So if you want to stay with the same color, but you want a lighter shade of it, you want to thin it out more by using a liquid, either the water if it's let's get this going. I have my little disposable brushes here. I'm going to use that for the majority of this. I want to do the pumpkins first. And I am using copper. I'm using copper for my pumpkins. That's what I want to use first. And then I think I put some orange in here, but I'm not sure. So I'm just going to grab a little. I'm going to mix this color up. Do you see how the Everclear makes this particular gel? So you want to stay away from that gel, and you just want to be, normally, if I were making a bunch of this because I had a big project coming, I would use like, I'd go to the dollar store and I would pick up a fresh pair of stockings, or I'd get cheesecloth and I would strain this and put my color directly into a container that I would keep it in. But for just a tutorial like this, we're going to do it live so you can see how it works. But you see that gel's down there, but it has colored my water. I've got good color there. So I'm just going to start by brushing this on the Moldable Royal Icing. And I'm going to turn it, and let's get up here. I'm going to anchor it so you can see it. And I would like to use a bigger brush. This will take a lot longer if I use, so I'm going to set this to the side and grab one of my other brushes that I brought in. So it'll just go a little faster for you guys. This painting is not so specific that I need a certain type of brush to do it. This is just to show you that if you don't want to airbrush, you definitely can do this. But this copper color, and this is Copper by Amerimist. And I just want you to see, I'll hold this up closer for you. But this Moldable Royal Icing accepts color very well. It doesn't pit. You're going to be able to do shading. You can go back and do dry dusting. And in just a minute, I'm going to show you how you can, while it's wet. But do you see how nice and smooth that is? No pitting, nothing weird's happening to it. I've got a beautiful pumpkin there. All right, now let's do another one. This color is beautiful, right? Hi, Nancy. Thank you for jumping on with us. Please, you guys, share this to your personal pages and spread the video a little bit so that it'll show up for my engagement for the week and keep that number up. For this trial run, we have the chance to potentially earn a little passive income by however they're measuring the engagements. And so I've been making sure I put up posts. So I just need you guys to like react to everything, comment on everything, share it if you don't mind, and help a girl out. That little bit of keyboard work doesn't take too much time, but it's going to help me out a lot with upgrades we need to do. All right, so orange. Which one would you guys like to see first? Can I go straight to the copper? I really, really love the copper, but I want you to see the colors. Isn't that beautiful? So let me go right to the copper just so we're not waiting for your responses. I just want you to see what it looks like. Okay, maybe that went a little heavy on the diamond dust. Just tap it off if you're not into all that. But look at that. Isn't that just the most beautiful pumpkin? So you've got that nice copper behind it, and then you've got the copper on top, which is just a slightly darker shade. And then watch this, so easy. Let's pick up a little bit of green and do our pumpkin stem. Isn't that pretty? Just a little green on our pumpkin stem there. There you go. So these you could just, oops, I see. Hold on one sec. I froze for a second. I really wanted the shimmer on my pumpkin, so I'm good with this. But if you guys really want to get into like hyper realistic painting, you'll want to do this with some gel colors or maybe some sugar prism, maybe a little airbrushing so that you can get in there and really do the grooves and make those darker. But I just wanted the bling. I'll just be honest with you. I wanted that lighter undercolor, the darker spray on top, and I wanted the bling. All right, so this is the first pumpkin, no bling. So I've let it dry. I'm going to go ahead and do my pumpkin. Froze again. Are you my back? All right, so I just painted my pumpkin stem on the first pumpkin green. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to pick up some more of the copper color, and I'm going to specifically go back and hit on the left side of the pumpkin on the left side, and I'm going to hit the right side grooves on this side, staying in the grooves of, so it's automatically going to give it that depth and shadowing. So let me show you what that looks like. So Second layer, I'm only doing in the deepest spots. So you can see I'm getting great shading, and it's going to just soak right in there. Still no pitting. It has a nice shine. If you really want to make this shiny, I did bring this in here to show you, but let me do it on the last pumpkin. Let me paint up one more pumpkin, and then I'll show you if you want super, super shiny pumpkins, I'll show you how you can do that. If you have PME glaze spray, you can do it with that, but I'm going to show you how to paint it with super shine with the poppy colors, because we have to talk about something, because somebody had a problem because they were watching another instructor, and you guys, you have to understand it's up to the instructor that they give you. Like, not everyone is going to tell you all the things like I try to tell you, because they want you to take classes and whatever. But I mean, you take so many classes from me. I'm going to tell you all the things in the free video, because I don't want you guys to ruin expensive brushes. Like, if you're really getting into cooking, you know, you always have that set of brushes that are super special. And when someone doesn't tell you how to clean a brush after they've showed you how to use a product, it's kind of like that person that withholds one item from the recipe. Right? And so it just ruins it for you, and you never want to instructor, figure it out, but don't quit when something goes wrong like that. So there's my pumpkin and my stem. I'm just going to set this to the side, let it dry. I'm going to show it to you, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to do super shine. But I want you to see the shading on this one is already dry and it's in the grooves. So I'm not going to put any diamond dust on this, because I just want you to see it really overtakes the pumpkins. There's no way to control that very well. Okay. Now I do want to show you, if I brought it in here. Did I bring it? Oh, we're going to do it on the leaves. I'll show you what it looks like when you're doing the leaves. Now, I think you do need to see the, I'm going to use a baby pumpkin. I'm going to sacrifice one baby pumpkin for this. It's smaller than I would like to do this on, but you do need to see what the orange diamond dust looks like as well. Okay. Now, do you see that the more that the Everclear starts to evaporate, how I'm automatically getting darker hues in my copper color that I'm painting with? I love this color for pumpkins, you guys. Some people really like terracotta. That's also beautiful. I find it a little dark for my undertone, but this copper is just so rich. But you see how I automatically started getting better colors in the grooved areas? It's because the Everclear is evaporating, so I'm getting thicker color, which is what I was trying to explain about letting to get a lighter shade by diluting with a liquid rather than adding white, because white's going to make it like it changes it completely. Like, you won't get a lighter shade of a hot pink. You'll get a rose. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I want to show you what the orange diamond dust looks like. So we're going to use one of the mini, mini baby pumpkins, and I'll show you that. I'm going to get it all over me. Hold on. Is Jeremy watching? Jeremy has lots of comments about glitter. I love it. Some people hate it. But I want you to see the orange versus the copper. I think my sprayer's jammed up. I used this a lot yesterday. Let me see. Jammed up. Hold on. So pretty, though. It's just me. It's not the door. You're fine. My girls are like, hey, someone's here. And by girls, I mean pups. They have these little chairs that they sit in to bring them to a height where they can see what I'm doing. But they can be a safe distance away since it's food. And so they're all in their chairs right now. All right, forget it, guys. I'm going to go for the full hilt on this. I'm just going to have to do it this way so you can see the color, because it's jammed up a little bit. Don't worry, though. I don't mind the glitter in my house. I know it drives some of you nuts, but I actually like it, so it's okay. All right, so I want you to look at this. This is the orange diamond dust versus what the copper diamond dust looks like. So now they both have a place. This is more Halloween-y to me. This is more fall, as far as like how it looks, the elegance of it, and how it translates on a cookie. What it does, undercolor's the same, but this is orange and this is the copper. All right, so that's it on those. All right, we're going to move on I want to show you guys, I guess I should change this out since I got glitter everywhere. I really like it, but realizing that a lot of you don't, I probably should get rid of that from the video. Hold on just a second. We're just going to layer up today. All right, hold on. Here we go. Let's get a fresh sheet down to work on. Here's our paint palette. Nope, you're okay. Just wait there till I get done, okay? Mom says hi, you guys. So I'm going to put these pumpkins over here. And I'm going to lift this a little bit, guys. It's going to be in the video a little, but I want you to see the finished pieces that we're starting to collect. And I do want to show you, I know what we're supposed to do. That's what it is. I want to show you this so that we can talk about it so that you don't ruin any of your items. So confectioner's glaze is a great way to seal anything that you dry dust or anything that you just want to have a lot of shine or a wet look, like Halloween. You're doing gross teeth and dripping blood. If you seal it with confectioner's glaze, in this case, I'm going to use the brand Poppy Paint, and this is Super Shine. The label's missing here, guys, but I promise you it's Super Shine. It's going to dry hard. It's going to cover it. So when you bag it, you're not going to lose any of your dry dust. It's not going to get, your glitter's not going to spread out on the cookie. It's going to look wet and have a shine. It's great for gross eyeballs, for anything dripping out of noses or mouths or ears on your Halloween cookies. But I happen to have my Super Shine here. I usually use CK confectioner's glaze, but I can't find my bottle since I got back from CookieCon, which means it's either at the other house or at the other studio. So I don't have it, but we're going to use this one. It's a different brand, same product. Now this is what it's starting out looking like. Can you guys see that? Now, the reason that the person ruined their brushes the other day is because they tried to clean a good brush. First of all, I only use disposable brushes with this stuff because I just don't trust myself to not be in a hurry and clean the brush properly. So this has to be cleaned out with an alcohol-based item or with confectioner's glaze thinner, things of that nature. I just use the throwaway brushes. They're so cheap. They're like 2 or 3 cents a brush. And so I wait till I have a whole bunch of this and I do it. We don't have to worry about it. But look at the pop that you get on this pumpkin. I'll lift it in a second, but look at the pop you get. And I can't wait, you guys, until my new stand is here so that I can hook up a third, like really close angle camera for you guys. I'm excited about that. That's going to be happening soon. You know, when you live stream and it's part of your living, your temptation is to buy all of the things right when you get started. If that's happening for any of you guys or you're teaching classes like that, don't buy all the things right away because you're going to find out that you don't need all of that stuff that you bought. Much with the live streaming to just do a little bit at a time. But do you see how beautiful and shiny that is? So that, and I'm going to do the stem too. This is going to stay that way. And now it's sealed. I can put this on a cookie and this is not going to rub off or flake off in the bag. Okay. All right. Let's get this one moved over. Good thing that landed upright or it would have stuck to that paper towel. Now let's talk about your brush. If you are going to use a good brush, then you must clean this out in Everclear or vodka or in the confectioner's glaze thinner. If you do this in water, it's going to seize up because that's actually a candy shellac. It's like the gloss coating on M&Ms. By the way, don't smell it or taste it while it's wet because it smells terrible. It tastes terrible, and then you're not going to want to use it, but have a taste, and it dries super shiny, and it doesn't have a smell once it's dry. So just know that in the candy industry, that's the norm. So a lot of the candies that have the shiny finishes on them, it's confectioner's glaze that are on those things. So I'm going to leave these 3 here where you can see them. I think I saw a question. Do you use much of the glitter when you brush it on? I don't. If I brush it on, I actually have super soft powdery like face makeup brushes that I only use for the glitter. So I just pick up a little bit and I just tap it usually, or I buff it. but just now the glitter I put on there, it was jammed up. So I just tapped a bunch on there. I need to take that bottle apart and like really tap out the pump part of it. All right. So this is my tip to you, because somebody messaged me the other day and they were following another instructor and they used Super Shine or they used the CK Confectioner's Glaze and they ruined like a $6 brush. They're trying to salvage it. Sometimes you can, sometimes you just can't. So if you're using any of those glazes, you have to thin it with an alcohol. You have to clean it with an alcohol base. Do not put it into water like you do normal paint. It will ruin your brush, which is why I, in the videos, have just gotten used to using these throwaway brushes. But that's just your pro tip for today. And also, you guys, check out the instructors you're following. If you can tell that they're a person that doesn't give you all the information, then just use it for inspiration for design, but maybe don't use it for inspiration on actually repeating the exact item or on duplicating it or whatever. Like some people, there was a video this weekend from a clay person. She's using fondant molds just like we use to make pottery pieces. And she had a big debate going, which really kicked up her engagement. So kudos to you for doing that. But the debate was whether or not she had to tell you everything that she was using in her video. And the short answer is no. No one has to tell you everything they're using if they're just a content creator and they're just trying to get clicks and likes. But as you know, although this has turned into a lot of digital creation and content creation for you guys, I started it for actually teaching and to keep you all going and motivated so that you would understand fully how to use products, right? So that's different. My motivation has always been different, and I've always been a roll it forward person. So you get a lot of information from me that other content creators or instructors aren't willing to share with you. So you have to look at that, analyze the situation, and decide what you're going to gain from that person as an instructor or as someone you follow. Because no, they don't have to tell you everything. I just tell you more than most, okay? I think I've spoiled some of you. And that's okay. The glaze I just used was Poppy Paint. I typically use CK because I find it a little cheaper per ounce and it works just as well. But I can't find my bottle since I got home from CookieCon. So this is Super Shine from Poppy Paint. And I think I bought mine through Bee's Baked Art. All right. Hey, Kathy, how are you? Ah, thank you, Trisha. It doesn't hurt me at all for you guys to do better. The better you do, the more people you bring, the more people you help. Like there's plenty of business out there for everybody, and everybody has a different thing within the community that they're trying to do. My point is just like, don't beat up on her because she didn't want to share something. Like some people were being really, really horrible, and she has a right to not share it. But you also have a right to watch it and still gain the information that you want to gain. Does that make sense? Yeah. So my mom is saying, yes, that makes sense. It's good business sense. Thanks, Mom. All right. Now, guys, I would like to do 1 or 2 baby pumpkins, and then I want to show you how to airbrush the leaves. So this copper was a gel color, okay? So I diluted it with the Everclear. See how dark it is now? So we need some more Everclear. I'm just going to use my pipette and add a little bit because I want a lighter undercolor, okay? And remember, we don't want to dilute with white. White changes the whole color. We're diluting by adding more of the liquid. Oh, and by the way, we're going to do a set of cute, really minis tonight. I put the post up already and made an event. But if you happen to be at Michael's today, we're doing the minis that were in this little thing. I think they're already on sale, you guys. But it's these cookies on the back. We're going to do those tonight at 7 o'clock. And we'll talk a little bit more. Hey, Mary Jean, we'll talk a little bit more about the 13 Days of Halloween event that's coming up. And I'll remind you again about the collaboration. And if during the day you have purchased cutters or STL files or the class for fall stackables, which is pre-recorded, you can watch the video today and get going. And we froze again. Fourth quarter, I spend a lot more time focusing on ways to help you make money. So let's paint a couple of these. And then I'm going to show you how to do this with yellow and red to make orange on another little pumpkin. Then we'll go back and paint the green, okay? So this one was done with the gel color diluted with Everclear. Now we are about to do airbrush color using red and yellow. I'm going to pick up some of my red and I'm going to pick up some yellow. Maybe I'll just do that. Oh, there we go. Got a nice dark burnt orange color there. So pretty. I'm going to dilute it with a little more Everclear because it's a very dark color. So we'll thin it a little bit. Also, guys, make sure you're painting. Paint, I just want you to see that with airbrush color, it's really nice too. You can also thin that out and thin it with water or Everclear. For me, it doesn't matter which one I use. It works just the same. But it's already got a water base to it because it's not a metallic. All right, but I want you to see how pretty this, it's just so pretty. And just the moldable royal icing, this has been, all of these were made last Tuesday. So they're good and dry. They basically have I kept them thin. So they have the crunch of a sweet tart. Let's move these up here so you can see. Okay, and then I think this is I think that's a copper color up here. All right, let's do this. Yeah, that's a dark copper. Let's thin that out a little bit. And then we're going to move on to leaves because I want you to see the leaves. And I want to do a little airbrushing so you can see how it takes airbrush color too. Now, these itty bitty ones that also have a leaf and a stem to do, they're harder to airbrush, but you can do it. You just have to get a little bit of patience and find something that works well for you to hold to be a blocker for the airbrush. Or use a super, super dark green so that if you get orange on the leaf, look, isn't that pretty? That's the copper, but you see the shades you can get. White pumpkins are super popular this year. And also, hey, I'm so sorry. I must have missed the comment that goes with this comment, but if it was a question, can you retype the question? Hey, Mary Jane. Oh, you were on the thank you class. Well, you can go back to that. The thank you class has a lot of really fun stuff in it. But fourth quarter is all about teaching you prep work things so that you can make more money and how to mix up your sets so you only need butters. Like those are all things that used to be a really big deal to me at the shop. I didn't want to have to buy 50 million of something. All right, now I'm going to take a disposable brush and we're going to get into this airbrush green. This was glowy green. Okay, let's flip all these around and we're going to do the stems and the leaves. Now, I'll tell you, these pumpkins are so cute. If you do a dark green, thick, like 30-second royal icing, custom cut the tip of the bag with the chicken beak like we do to make leaves, and add a royal icing leaf to this after you glue it to the cookie, because then you just mixed up. Leaf is made with moldable royal and has one look, and then you can add more dimension to it and another texture to the look of your cookie by adding in the hand piped piece. Now I'm just blotting this in and I'm going right into the grooved areas. So I'm letting that color sit longer in the grooved areas. So that'll be a little darker, which is where I would want to keep that darkened color. Okay. All right. So can you guys see that? Let me lift it so you can see it. What did I do with I guess I can bring my thingamajiggy back in here. I want you to see that though. And then also remember, guys, because these were white to start with, we just froze. Are you there? Don't forget to do the sides because you don't want that white to be super obvious when someone's rotating through the cookie. And I see a little spot of orange I missed, so I'm going to catch that real quick. Now, also, I'm doing this on my hand for you guys for the live, but when I do a whole bunch of these, I do them on top of a rose nail head. Whoops. I do it on top of a rose nail head because I've just got a little orange in there. So I'm just going to mix a little green with it and make it look like a brown. I do it on a rose nail head so I don't stain my hands up like this, but you can see, isn't that beautiful? And then you can do a whole bunch of these, lay them out on parchment paper on a cookie sheet, take them outside with your spray can of PME and lightly spray back and forth. And then your glaze is all done. So you don't have to basically work like this with the green. And a lot of the Everclear has evaporated. So this green is going to get even darker. So when you pick up your pumpkins to actually do the leaf painting, make sure you pick up one that as your Everclear or your vodka is evaporating, that it's going to, that tone, that darker green is going to look good with that particular pumpkin. As then don't put a neon orange with a super hunter green dark leaf, right? That won't look as good as doing a glowy green and a neon orange. Can you see that? And you see by just dabbing that extra into the center, how that's going to funny to watch all these shows with my mom and all these gravity defying things that people are doing on the different shows. It's a lot of fun to see everybody's reaction. All right, so isn't that cute? And then just spray it with your PME glaze spray, or you can paint with the Poppy Paint Super Shine once it's dry. Wait till this is dry before you do this. Otherwise, you just smear your color. But then remember the key thing about the all right, so I'm going to leave that up here, and we're going to move on and do a little bit of airbrushing. Is that okay? Everybody good? Want to see some leaves? Oh, you know what? I think I wanted to use this brown and do a little bit of these stems in brown so you could see that. Am I in frame here? Let's get here. We'll do some brown on here. So you see you can go back over another color as long as the next color is darker. You can paint on top. And I've got a cool stem there. Isn't that just the cutest? And the detail in this pumpkin mold. But look, I just went right over where I had the green. Right? Do this one too, because I put the brown in here. We're going to do brown in just a minute. Let's do the acorns first, and then we'll do the airbrushing so you can see how it takes airbrush color. Okay, but see, pretty. All right, let's put that down. Now you can't add color once you've sealed it though, guys. So keep that in mind, okay? All right, let's grab another paper towel. Let's see if I can get a little bit of that off my hand. Let's put this underneath here. Okay, you good? Everybody's okay? Thought I had some tea in here. Look, just so you know, not hitting the Everclear. Life is not that desperate right now. Hey, Christina, I'm so glad you popped on. Oh, Charlotte's popping on. Charlotte, I'm so not used to seeing you at lunchtime. I hope I'll see you tonight. Kathy, no, that's one of the things I wanted to show you guys. It's not softening it. It still has the bite of a sweet tart. So it's crispy all the way through. So keep them thin. They will re-soften just a little bit when you pop them on the cookie though, because you're going to have wet royal icing behind them. Oh, I'm sorry that you're under the weather. I hope you get to feeling better. Link to the mold is already in the Cookie Snack Attack group under last week's video, but we're going to add it to this video in the Cookie Snack Attack group as soon as we're not live, because the links don't work until the videos are over. But we're putting the links in there, and this was all the different molds from last week. And I found you a newer, more updated set that basically has all of these sizes in it. So that's what we posted. All right, so let's paint a leaf, and then we're going to airbrush a leaf. These are the big leaves from last week. You guys can see all that okay? Everybody's all right? All right, don't forget to share this video, please. All right, now I need to show you. We're also going to be using a brush tip. Well, maybe. This one's kind of damaged. We might have to use this tip. I'm pretty rough on my food marker pens, just so you know. This is a Chef Master one. We're going to be using this to do a little accent work on our leaves. But this is my little cup that has the nice wide bottom on it, a little glass from Buc-ee's. And I'm going to put some water in here so that I can clean my orange brush, because although I'm going to get back to an orange color, I'm going to start with yellow and red. All right. Let's put this here so that you can see I'm not doing anything. Not doing anything extra that you guys can't see. There's no trick I'm hiding from you. Hey, Laura, how are you doing? And then let's circle back really quick. We've been painting these, doing different things for about a half an hour. You can see all of these. No pitting. Everything's drying nice. The ones we put. All right. Well, guys, I was really hoping it would be okay to live stream from this room because it makes it easier on my mom, but I may have to have them put an internet booster back. Oh, gosh. Let me just see who that is. Can you guys hold on 1 second? I'll be right back. Hold on 1 sec. Everybody stay where you are. Okay, we're fine. That was just a delivery. I'll grab that later. I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't the doctor coming to check on mom or something. No, not yet, mom. All right, so we're just going to clean this off. I'm just cleaning that in water, and I'm going to start in on one of these large leaves, and I'm going to start with red, just straight red airbrush color. All right, and you don't have to paint them this way. This is just how I like to do it. But what I like to end up with is a little bit of green in the middle of the leaf. I like to have a little green in the middle. I like red around the edge. I like to put yellow, and then I like to have a little orange by just blending the red and the yellow. But I'm going to leave that up to you, okay? Now, I do rinse my brush in between picking up other colors, but I only do that because I have found I'm really heavy-handed with my colors sometimes. So I like to just have a little rinse through. All right, I'm just going to blot some yellow next to it. And that yellow and red are automatically going to pull on each other because they're both wet at the same time. And you'll see I'm going to get some orange. And then I just like to tap a little around the edge so it has that almost a tie-dye effect. But you see how the yellow is sucking in? Let me zoom in a little closer for you so you can actually see it. See how it's sucking the red into the yellow, and so I'm automatically getting an orange. So I really only need the two colors to create this. I don't need, thank you for hitting that button, you guys. You don't need 3 colors. Sometimes I put stuff on a supply list and people message me and they're like, hey, you're missing this color. Well, I'm not really missing it. In class, you're going to learn how to only need 2 things to make the one thing. But that's what happens with that liquid. It just automatically pulls it. So let's do another rinse, and then let's do a little more yellow, and just watch it now that we're up close. And I'll do it on a second leaf so you can see it. Trying to make sure I stay in frame for you. Okay, because the leaf should start to be looking dead in the center area. And I'm just going to put just a little bit of the copper in here. I don't need a lot. All right, just a little. Do you see how that fans out in the areas? So if you want to brush it a little further up in the veins, you can. I'm going to rinse this. Hey, Sherry. Insert elevator music. I know I should have like a pause thing, but on the lives, you can't pause them. He must have, I wasn't in my room. He normally waves in the cookie studio. There's a window that goes right onto the front porch. And so he normally just waves, but it's raining. So he probably didn't want to leave my boxes out there, but I got a nice covered area out there now. So you see how pretty this is? All right, now let me show you something else. I want to do it on another leaf, and I'm going to do it on the leaf dry. But imagine that we painted a second leaf like this, and it's totally dry, okay, which takes maybe 20 minutes, and they're totally dry. I mean, like this one's dry already, okay? I could do it on this one, but this is not a leaf. But let's pull this up here. I want to show you what you can do with your brush. So in the center of fall leaves, sometimes they're still green. So if once that's dry, just hit the veins, just the veins and just the center with a bit of either water or Everclear, and I prefer the Everclear for this because it's going to evaporate fast. Blot off the excess and then just shade in that green in the center of your leaf. Okay, just gives you a whole nother look on your leaf. And I believe when Miss Terry comes on our 13 Days of Halloween Plus, she is on now. If this were an oak leaf, you guys, I want to show you this part too. This is a maple leaf, but if it were an oak leaf, you could just swap right over, pick up a little bit of the brown, and an oak leaf looks great when you mix the brown and the green. That's more the color they turn when they die off, as opposed to like a sugar maple leaf, which is so bright and beautiful. All right, so I'm going to bring some brown in on the edges. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over that green with my brown to just blend it, because right now it's very separate looking. So showing you a lot of things on this one leaf, but you guys get the idea. And then you'll be able to go back. And so you just tone down that green a little with a little of the brown once your brush is almost dried out over it. Okay. So do this on an oak leaf. That's how you would get your oak leaf designs. All right. Also, if you took my fall stackables class, I talked to you about how to airbrush your wafer paper for that class. And that's very similar. I'm going to move those up out of the way, get the brush in the water for a second. And I want to show you airbrushing. I want to show you airbrushing on a big leaf and a little leaf. Let's see. Let's go out a little bit. All right. Let's do that with the airbrush. And then we're going to swap over and do the acorn with the brown, because I want to show you how to bring out the I'll save this big leaf to do dry dusting, because I'm going to show you this beautiful shade of poppy if you want to do some dry dusting. But we're going to do this with the airbrush real quick. I'm going to start with a lighter base color when I do my airbrushing, because then if I want to hand paint or add detail, I can do that on top. So I'm just using a sunshine yellow. Okay. And because for this particular thing, I just want you to see how it accepts airbrush color. That's all we're going for here. Okay. So testing off to the side. I just want you to see how it takes it. And you see that it's a very the difference of this versus this. One is still wet and curing, and the other one is already matte finish, and you're ready to move on. So if I had my red airbrush color in here, I would put a drop of red in there. I'd hold the tip of my airbrush gun and then act like I was spraying it so it bubbles. It would mix the two colors, and I would just highlight the edges. So I do all of one thing as a base coat, like my yellow. Then I mix a custom color by putting a little red with the yellow to make some orange, and just hit the edges with that. And then these would all be done. I just have to leave them out for just a little bit to dry and pop them back in there. And because they're not dry dusted, they're painted, even though it's airbrush color painting, they don't have to be sealed. So they can go right into the container. Now, I think for purposes of what we're doing right now, I'm going to put down a fresh white paper towel just so you can see this. I feel like this is more of a Mad Scientist Monday, but it's so valuable for you guys to have this info, and I could only stream today. So we're turning it into this, but do you see the difference here? This is just what the finish looks like after they've dried a week. This is airbrush, and this we just did painting with gels. Okay. Now this is poppy. I picked poppy on purpose. I also have cardinal, I have red rose. You can use any of those colors that you like, okay? But I found that poppy looks really great and has that perfect tone to it for your leaf. So I'm going to use just a regular brush. It's a soft brush. Nothing special about this brush. I think, in fact, it's from the dollar store. I'm going to grab some of that color, and I'm just going to blot it right there on the paper towel. Let's flip these guys around. I want you to see the difference of the airbrush versus doing the gel, right? And then also, if you're going to dry dust these, you have to seal them. Otherwise, you could have loose powder on there that if some water hits it or something, it's going to get activated and then it's going to bleed like this, right? It's going to make a wet color, or it could smear off in your bag. So there's good things about each of these techniques. Bad things, you just need to start learning when to apply, right? Just see this beautiful fall red though? Do you see that? Very pretty red. Now I'm just going to jam it. Seriously, these are hard enough. I can do this. It's not going to break. I'm just going to jam it into the vein areas. Okay, and then I can buff it. If I'm using a sterling pearl, there's, again, applications for, that's something you can use on wedding cookies. If you want to get the shine and do that kind of cookie, you would just be buffing that in. It will cover the whole thing. But this red almost has, this poppy just has a little hint of an orange undertone. So if you need to do a whole bunch of these quick, you can. Now, we're going to take this a step further. So if I dry dusted this, this is the finish versus my airbrush versus my painting with gels. Okay, do you see the difference in the sheens? I need to put the lid on this because it's a pain to clean up, okay? All right, got that out of the way. Okay, so you can see the difference here, okay? Now, let me show you this. If I come back and I take a little bit of Everclear after I dry dusted, not really sure why anyone would do this, but I did have the question about what would happen. This is what would happen. If I dry dusted those, like, I don't know why you wouldn't just mix the color up, because you can use your petal dust with the Everclear and vodka. So I don't know why you wouldn't just mix it up, but their question was what would happen. Well, this is what happens. So it just blends the color, but you lose a little bit of the color as well. So you're going to have to go back and darken it. I think they were basically in their brain working out how to sidestep having to seal this. You still have to seal it. If there's any dry dusting particles on here that haven't been fully activated, that can come off on your cookie or in your bag. Now, do you see like how much darker we got just there from doing that? That's going to dry a shade lighter, but it's pretty dark. Okay, is there anything with this that I did not show you so that we're okay to move on to cute? Oh, we need to do yes, there is. We need to do the acorns so you can see what they look like, because it's really cute. And someone was trying to justify buying the 4 molds instead of just getting a pumpkin mold. Just buy the set. It's like $10 for 4 molds, makes them $2.50 a piece. If you don't use them for this particular thing, you're going to use them later because they're really cute. All right, so let me pick up some of the brown. I'm going to thin it again. We're going to start with a lighter shade. Thinning again by adding more of the Everclear or vodka, not white. White's going to change the tone, okay? All right, so I'm going to start up here. Or let's start down here. I thought about that for a second. Let's do this first so I don't have to pick it up as many times. We'll do the bottom first. Now, acorns should be really like rough and textured looking, like they're shiny, but if you're blotting, you fixing to lay down? Okay, let me know if you need me. All right, so do you see how this is? By just blotting the color on there, how I get that cool texture and the ripples. All right, now I need a different brush for the next part. I'm going to use one of those brushes I used earlier and just rinse it out real good. And I need to pick up the brown now that it's getting a little darker. And I'm going to go across. See, by going across, it's trapping liquid in the textured areas of the cookie. So I went all the way to the bottom. I'm just going across so that it's more saturated. This works much better if you need to get this level of detail quickly. It works much better if you do it like this so that it's trapping more color in those those veined areas there, I guess, than if you airbrush. That's what I was getting to. So do you see that? And you see by going across it, how it automatically sucks that liquid down in there. And then just give it a quick touch around the edges to make sure none of that white's exposed. All right, now I'm going to directly pick up some of that clumpy gel. You see that? Blot it off to the side. And then I'm going to sideways just kind of lay it down along the bottom to add a little more of that dark chestnutty color. Okay. Dry if you super shine or confectioner's glaze seal the bottom, because that part is shiny. When this dries, it's going to dry to a matte finish like this. Okay. In nature, this would be more matted and this bottom part would be really shiny. So there's another leveling up effect that you can get here with these. And then you can have these all prepped ahead of time. But it's not just a blob. That's my point. It doesn't just show up like, it doesn't read like one color. I only used one color to do this, but by applying multiple techniques about how I put it on the acorn, it looks like I did like shading and extra coloring and stuff, but it's not. So let's do one more so you can see it one more time. Okay. I'm going to thin out my color so I get a lighter shade for the bottom with a little Everclear, because I'm using Everclear. You can use vodka. I'm on the outside edge picking up color, so it's really a loose color, just a little blotting, and I'm just kind of blotting on the bottom for this bottom part. Okay, and that's giving me different amounts of liquid at each point, saturation levels, I guess is what you would call it, for it to soak in so that I get that cool look of an actual acorn. Okay, making sure all my white's covered. The blotting is better for this than brushing because you can see brush strokes. You wouldn't have that on a real acorn, so just blot it because that's more what it looks like. And I would suggest Googling some of these things before you start painting. All right. Wear gloves, okay? And all I've done is the bottom and the stem, so they're the same color. I'm going to rinse my brush. I did bring gloves in here, but I forgot to put them on, so now we're just running with it because we're almost done. I'm going to go straight in and grab that really dark color from the gel. It's a little clumpy. Can you guys see it? I'm just going to suck off the liquid by laying it on a paper towel, and then I'm going to go sideways across my cookie. And that's going to suck it down in. That's going to suck it down into those grooves and give me that dark shading, but I don't have to sit there and hand paint those 30 lines. By running across, it's sucking more of that heavy particle or the heavy liquid and the loaded color down into the grooves. And you can let it dry and do it again if you don't like, if it's not dark enough for you. But that's occurring because I've allowed some of the Everclear to evaporate. So I have a darker shade of brown in there. And then by going sideways, it's forcing more liquid. And look, what did that take? Like 5 seconds? And it looks like I spent all day on this. I mean, it's crazy, right? Of course you want to do that. And then let the whole thing dry. It's going to dry to a matte finish like this. Come back and do confectioner's glaze or super shiny, and the rest of this should stay matte. And look at how beautiful. I mean, that's really cool, right? Hey, Miss Pamela, how are you doing? All right. Sealing the dry dusted things I do with confectioner's glaze or poppy shine, which we talk about a lot earlier in the video. So you might have to watch it again. I'm sorry. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you guys are enjoying it. So let's just look at a few of these things together, right? And the fact that you made these well ahead of time so they're all dry, then you can paint a whole bunch of them ahead of time, or you can paint them to be custom colors. But let's just look at these things together. If they were to go on the same cookie or in the same set, look how great these are. Obviously, I still need to do the green there, but look at all the variations I've got going here. And all thin. All like the bite of a sweet tart. Like, remember, I cautioned you, don't do this too thick, because when this is dry and it's too thick, you could crack somebody's skull with a sculpted piece. Like my little gnome that was 1.5 inches wide and 2 inches tall that I sculpted, that was solid moldable royal icing. I could hurt somebody with that. It's so hard. But when it's thin like this and then it resoftens going to the moldable royal icing, it's perfectly fine. All right, so let's put a few more things up here and let you look at them. Leaves last week. I just made all maple leaves, but that's how you would do that. You can watch that earlier in the video. Here's some of the baby pumpkins all finished. So you can see all of these pieces. They're cool, right? So pretty. All right. Don't forget, we do not clean confectioner's glaze or super shine with water. That has to be cleaned with an alcohol base. So like Everclear or vodka to clean those brushes. I'm personally just recommending, in case you're like me and you get to going too fast and forget what you have on what brush, that you just use disposable brushes like this. Those are in my Amazon shop, which is the Amazon shop is pinned at the top of my Cookie Snack Attack page. And I'll be putting a link up for May's shop, so you can get the moldable royal icing if you want to play with this. I have a full free video up on how to use that product. It's really fun. I'm showing you how to use it for little bits to prep ahead of time to make more money fourth quarter. But the reason I actually started using it is because it's fantastic for sculpting. Like, if you're in a competition and it has to be 100% edible, you can even extrude that with a clay extruder and make rods to make your reinforcement pieces for things like gingerbread houses and stuff. So it has lots and lots of uses, not just this one thing. I just happen to really like this one thing because it's going to speed up cookies for the fall, right? So I just wanted you guys to see all of this today. Let me see if I can go out a little bit more. But look at all the shading I've showed you with different diamond dust. We did airbrushing. We did a lot of things today, but that's because I was getting questions about, like, how will it receive this color? How will this color dry? What does this look like? So I just thought I'd pull out all the things today and let you take a look. Okay. Now, does anybody have, oh, and the molds, I'll be dropping the link. They are posted on last week's video where we actually made these pieces. I found a set that has everything in it. And I think it was like $9.99 or something, but I will be reposting it for you, okay, shortly, like as soon as I get off here. All right, and you guys, make sure you go check out, would you like to see the cookies that are in the Fall Stackables class? This was our class that's up for purchase. It's all pre-recorded. We make that 4 cookie set. There's a new technique in there where I show you how to make the concrete texture on your urns to make it very realistic looking. And then today in that particular group, and also I think on Seriously Sweet page, I posted a bunch of photos showing you how you would just different ideas in case you were on 12 by 5 by 1.5 inch boxes. Then you can break them down and do them in twosies, or you can crisscross the 2 smaller pieces on the larger pieces, box them side by side, maybe use a 9 by 5 by 1.5 inch box, or you can just make them all as individual cookies. So I just wanted you to see that you're really getting a good value when you purchase the cutters. It's not a one-hit wonder or one-hit usage. Also, these 4 cutters are the cutters I'm going to be using for my Halloween tutorial during the 13 days of Halloween Plus, which kicks off on October 16th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we will have 1 tutorial each night starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to show you their project. So they will have some things pre-prepped. They're going to be giving you as much information as possible about how to recreate the products or the projects that they're doing. We have everything, you guys. We have sculpting, we have stained glass, we have mixed media cookies, we have embossed cookies. I think someone's doing parchment cookies to show you that technique. I'm doing something that's a stackable to show you that in particular. We've got painting, we've got airbrushing, we've got painting with the Tweets markers. Like, I really feel like we put together a great lineup for you guys, and I'm hoping you'll tune in for that. Also, please join the cookie collaboration group if you want to submit a Halloween cookie and get your cookies in. They're due by October 3rd. That video is going to get extra exposure because it's going to be the countdown video for everyone's videos from starting on as soon as I get the video put together at the beginning of the first week. It's going to run every night for the whole event, and then a few days after Halloween. So it's going to get lots and lots of exposure. So it is a collaboration that you want to participate in. Colors are listed, everything you have to do. I hope you guys have a fantastic Tuesday. I'm going to see you tonight. We're going to do some mini cookies. And don't forget to go check out the Fall Stackables group. Thank you, guys. I hope you really enjoyed this, and I hope it helps you make more money or do a higher volume of cookies for donation at the end of the year, okay? All right, so catch up with you later. Thank you. Please share the video.